Hello. For this video, we're going to go over writing a new program inside a project for Labview. So the first thing to do is to open up Labview, and when you do so, you'll get this window that says Getting Started. When we're creating a new program, well, there's a button just for that, Create Program. When we click on that, it'll take a moment to come up, and you'll get the first template. What we'll be creating in class is a robot project, and we want it to be blank from the very beginning, and we will create that new blank robot project. When we do that, we need to give it a name, and in the second field is where we choose a location to save it on our machine. So if you click on the folder there, Finder will open up, and then you can put it wherever you'd like. I strongly recommend that you have a folder dedicated just to the robotics class, and inside there a folder just for the programs that you will write. It will now be saved as an .lvrbt. That's the extension for the robot projects. It just stands for Labview Robot. When we create it, up will come the window that is the project center. And here we have information about the robot project. Now we can create the new individual program that goes into the project. The individual programs have the extension .vi, stands for virtual instrument. To create a new program, click New VI. And as we will be putting these programs onto our NXT, the choice we make here is VI for NXT target. Again, we have to name this individual VI, whatever name makes sense to you, and create it. And you'll notice a couple of things. First of all, in the Project Center, that file is now listed. So we can now open and delete it in the future after we've written it. The other thing to notice is that there are two screens. The front panel, the one with the grid, which we won't actually use very much, and the one we actually use to write the program is called the block diagram. And this is where we'll put the blocks that control our robot. So now let's go ahead and write our first program. To add a block to a program, again, to emphasize, we don't actually use code. We write the program in blocks. They're schematic pictures. To add a block at any point, we right-click or control-click on the block diagram, and we get many choices. The one we're going to use, first of all, just to get started, is the NXT-IO. What we're going to do is write a program to make the robot start moving, wait a second, and then stop. Start movement is caused by the motors, so we're going to choose the motor control. Again, the first time you do this, it will take a moment to come up. It needs to initialize some variables and some values. And here we get the motor block. There are many possible values for parameters. We'll see how to change those later. But the default is a power of 75 and all the ports. So it activates all the motors with a power of 75 in the forward direction. And that's what we want right now. The last thing we want to do for this program is to brake. And that also involves the motors. So we'll go back into the NXT-IO with the right click, grab another motor block, but this time instead of moving forward, we want the motor to turn off by braking. You'll notice the stop sign there. And what we want in between those two is just a delay so that it doesn't start and stop at the same time. That will be provided by a wait block. It is also in the NXT-IO via the right click over to the wait block. Choose that. And again, the first time you use it, it'll take a moment. We put that in between. And it'll wait for a certain amount of time. That way there will be this much time in between starting and stopping. And you notice that orange button there. The default is 1 second. And that'll do for our first purposes. So these are the three actions that our code is going to execute. Start the motors, wait 1 second, stop the motors. The next thing we need to do is connect them so that the computer knows in what order to execute them. The machine will automatically go left to right as long as they're connected, and that's what those pink buttons are for. We take the first block and connect it by dragging the pink button to the pink button on the wait block. These two are now connected. We do that one more time, and we have a three-step program. We start, we wait for 1 second, and then we stop. The next thing to do, of course, is to save it. You can use the file command save or command S, just like a Word document. It will take a moment, and it will save your program for you. Now you can, it will be on your machine in the folder you told it to be located in, and you can save it and refer to it whenever you want. To close out, well, we just have the red buttons that will close each window. Do get used to this. You will get this error message when you're closing out a program. It suggests that you can't save some items in your program. So you will see passkey or cancel.vi and connect to brick vi a lot. Don't worry about those two. Unless it actually mentions the name of the file that you're working on, it's not going to be an issue. It's a permissions problem that's built into Labview and our computers. So as long as it just says these two, you don't have to worry about saving those two items. They're already in Labview as long as you've saved the program you're writing. So just click Don't Save. And we have now written our first program, example.vi. And in future videos, I will show you how to reopen that established program and also how to change the parameter settings. Thank you.